check first, then you go ahead, okay?
Yep.
Okay, just try the mic. Let me check the YouTube.
Try it now.
Wait a second.
Mic check one. Mic check one. Mic check one. Mic check one.
All good?
Good. So ready to go? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Moosa Cricket Stadium in Pearland, Texas, about 25 miles south of downtown Houston. We're pleased to bring you the Veterans Cricket USA inaugural T20 tournament. This matchup between the New Jersey Black Caps and the Texas Red Cobras. Texas Red Cobras having won the toss and on a brand new pitch here at Moosa Cricket Ground have decided to have a bowl. So the New Jersey Black Caps opened up the batting with Manapa, who's the wicketkeeper, and Keval Patel, who's the captain. 18 without losses your score, 2 deliveries into over number 4. The bowler for the Texas Red Cobras, is Zubair Hussain. Zubair Hussain now bowling to Keval Patel. Keval Patel 1 from 7. Zubair Hussain into his second over. Full, driven into the covers for no run. By the way, this is Brian Walters. Happened to be here with you for the entirety of this tournament. If you are anywhere close to Pearland, Texas, come on down and enjoy some veterans level cricket. This ball staying a little bit low as it goes through. Keval Patel with the wave and a miss outside off. Zubair Hussain typically very economical, as you would expect from a spinner bowling inside the power play. Bowled maybe one loose ball so far. It was cut away for 4 in his first over, the second over of the innings. This one whipped around the leg side. We'll have to wait to see whether or not umpire Rakesh Jain signals this as a leg by. I believe that may have just come off of the pad. But we'll see what indication we get from the umpire. And in fact, no signal from umpire Rakesh Jain. So those appear to be runs. So a couple more runs under the column for Keval Patel. 1 ball remaining here now in over number 4. Stroke down the ground. Ooh, pierces mid-on and mid-off. Mid-on doing well to run around and make sure that that stays just to a couple. And so 2 more runs close out yet another economical over for Zubair Hussain. 5 runs coming from it. And at the end of 4, 2 overs remaining inside the power play. The score is 22 without loss. .22 without loss, 4 overs into the first match here in the Veterans Cricket USA inaugural T20 tournament. 2 bowlers used so far. Zubair Hussain just finished his second over. His figures are none for 11. And Amir Shahzad bowled 2 overs from the Pearland end, which is the northern end of the ground. Going to be a change in bowling now. A new bowler coming from that northern end. It's going to be some right arm leg spin or right arm off spin to the left-handed Manapa Ataya. Looking the more enterprising of the 2 openers, Manapa Ataya, 13 from 13 with a 4 and a 6. First scoring stroke of the match was a 6 straight down the ground by Manapa Ataya. And this delivery, half-hearted appeal by one fielder, that was the keeper. Very animated appeal by the bowler himself. In fact, this bowler is Firoz Samnani. And umpire Myron James not interested in that appeal. Right armer bowling over the wicket to a left-hander. You're always going to have the issue of whether or not that pitched on. My sense is, even from looking at it from sort of a side view, is that that would have pitched outside the line of outside the line of leg, which would be the reason why that appeal would have been denied. Next delivery here is wide outside the line of off stump. Goes for the big swipe here. Misses that huge drive outside the line of off. As I mentioned, he appears to be very dangerous and more enterprising of the two Manapataya. Fielders in the deep, of course, at this stage only allowed 2 outside the circle. Another 10 deliveries remaining inside the power play. Those 2 outside are long on and long off. This is straight down the ground, landing right in front of that field at long on, so just a single there. So Firoz Samnani taking the ball, first change bowler for the Texas Red Cobras. Firoz Samnani is an all-rounder. Interestingly, he's obviously a cricket player. He mentioned that his other favorite sport is cricket. So that might tell you a little bit about what Mr. Samnani does in his spare time whenever he has it. Stays a little bit low. Oh, that gets right through the field at backward point. That's Kashif Rana. He pounds the floor in frustration. He knows he really should have stopped that one. But in fairness, the outfield, maybe in certain spots, especially inside the 30-yard circle, has recently been completely relayed. And let's just say the outer portions of the outfield are much more smooth than the inner 30-yard circle, because that, again, just recently relayed and regrassed. So it will take some time for the inner circle to get caught up with the rest of the field. So my sense is that might have contributed to that ball deviating a little bit, which is why Kashif Rana wasn't able to field it cleanly a second ago. 1 ball remaining here in over number 5. 26 runs on the board. Goes for the big swipe, and he's given. Played completely across the line. Keval Patel looking to play that one toward mid-wicket, and it was full and it was straight, and he really probably should have wanted to play that one down the ground. Looking to play that inside the V is what he should have been doing, but unfortunately for him, goes completely across the line, gets trapped right in front. Umpire Myron James with the affirmative nod, saying, yep, you're right in front. So the last delivery of over number 5 results in the first wicket of the match. At the end of 5, the score is 26 for 1. Welcome back to the Moosa Cricket Stadium. This is the Veterans Cricket USA inaugural T20 tournament. Sponsors are Nitya Capital, Ultimate Vineyards, Kadim Jewelers, Stelton Sports, and the apparel sponsor is Omtex. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about those sponsors shortly. In the meantime, it's a new bowler again coming from the Massey Ranch Road End. This is going to be Jignesh Desai, former USA captain. Jignesh Desai, probably known more for his exploits with the bat, but he's also a really good off spinner. Not a bad idea to bring the off spinner on to face up to the left-handed Manapa Taya, who's looking a little bit more dangerous than his partners so far. At least this partner is now facing for the first time, Wakas Shahid. It's a right-handed batter. So not much in terms of turn, I wouldn't think. This just a quick look at the pitch. And again, this is a brand new pitch. And it is being played on literally for the very first time. This is the first match that's being played on it. So we'll pay attention to how it plays the rest of the way. For the most part, has seemed to be okay. A couple of balls have kept low from what we could tell. But so far, it has been, let's just say it's been good enough. Hasn't been tested much, but one would think that this pair batting would want to be a little bit less enterprising until you're exactly sure what the ball is going to do off the pitch. So two deliveries here into over number 6. So down to the last 4 inside the power play. With Ataya on strike, the 2 fielders in the deep are long on and mid wicket. And this is in the air toward mid wicket and sailing over the top for a second 6 struck here by Manapa Ataya. Clean strike. He didn't necessarily care that he was hitting against the turn, because I think that delivery was straight enough that would not have presented much of a problem. Didn't drag it from outside the line of off. Seemed to play that off of leg stump. So again, even if there's any turn, that would have been turning into the power stroke. So a pretty significant hit there by Manapa Ataya, who now moves into the 20s. Wants to go big again. Quicker delivery, but it goes down the leg side. So Manapa Ataya causing a little bit of trouble here at the top of the Texas Red Cobras. 21 runs against his name, 1 4 and 2 6s, 18 balls faced. Quicker, flatter this time, pushed to backward square leg, a dot. So good comeback here for Jignesh Desai. So looking here now, your 2 deliveries remaining inside the power play. The scoring rate is a little bit above 6.18. 35 runs on the board with 2 deliveries remaining inside the power play. Plays a little dab to backward point. Not cleanly fielded, but all they'll get is 1 run. And so 1 ball remaining here in over number 6. 10 runs from the over already. And again, Wakas Shahid has only faced 1 ball. He's scored a single from that 1 ball. And this will be the last ball of the power play. The last ball of the power play. A little bit of a change in the field as long on and mid wicket drop into position. And this is defended for no run. Good. Close to the over, but an expensive one. The most expensive over of the inning so far. 10 runs coming from it. At the end of the power play, the score is 36 for 1. Firoz Samani has the ball in hand and will be bowling over number 7. to Monapataya. Whipped around the leg side for another 4. So Kashif Rana standing at backward square leg. That was not very far away from him, to his left, but just out of reach, and worked around the corner for another boundary. So off to a fast start here is Monapataya. 26 from 21 balls faced, 2 4s and 2 6s. And the score now moves into the 40s. That run rate around 6.5, projecting from here to a rate of 130. 130. It'll be interesting. Don't know yet what par is going to look like. Again, this is a brand new pitch. And so it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. My goodness, this is about the biggest hit that you've seen all day. Another 6 struck down the ground, dragging it a little wider this time, Monapataya. And this is a sweetly timed shot that goes over the top of mid-wicket, really cow corner, between long on and mid-wicket. And so 4 and a 6 to start over number 7. And usually you expect that outside of the power play is where the scoring rate slows down because the field can be more defensive. But Monapataya does not care about the power play or anything else. Goes big twice. And this is a thick outside edge. Going to be a few more runs here, at least 2. Don't think it will have the legs to get. In fact, it does have the legs to get to the boundary. So 4-6-4 to start over number 7. Zubair Hussain running around, sweeping on the offside, but not able to get anywhere close to it. So 3 huge scoring strokes to start over number 7. Already the most expensive over in the innings. 14 already from it, from the first 3. And all of a sudden, things are looking really, really ominous here because, again, brand new pitch. But it appears as though Monapataya has taken a good enough look to know exactly how he expects the pitch to play and appears to just be going for his shots at this stage. We're outside of the power play. 4 fielders inside, 5 on the boundary. But it does not matter to Monapataya. Wants to go big again. Misses out on this one. So a dot ball to hopefully, at least from the standpoint of the Red Cobras, calm things down. But they're up against a batter here who really appears to be extremely, extremely aggressive. My apologies. I said 4 outs or 4 inside. There are actually 5 fielders inside the circle. 4 outside. Long on, long off. Sweeper in the covers. And fielder at deep in wicket. So this is played off the back foot down to Zubair Hussain, sweeping again in the offside. So 1 ball remaining here in over number 7, but a fast start from Monapataya. 37 to his name, 25 balls faced, 3 4s and 3 6s. And now 1 ball remaining here in over number 7. Look at exactly what the run rate is now, 7.46. So I just mentioned that the projected score was 130. Well, just based on the exploits of Monapataya in this over, the scoring rate has now projected to 149. And that's a fumble at backward point. They'll get a run. That really should have been stopped by Swapnil Agarwal, but not able to field it cleanly. And they'll get another single, a single that closes out over number 16, over number 7 rather, 16 coming from the over. 50 is up, and the score after 7 is 52 for 1. Jignesh Desai back to the Massey Ranch Road end to start his second over. Concedes a single to start with. And now That brings back onto strike Manapotaya. Waka Shahid, relatively sedate start, 3 from 4. But the man doing all the damage right now for the New Jersey Black Caps is Manapotaya, 37 from 25, 3 4s and 3 6s. My sense is that Jignesh Desai, who has a deep square leg, a deep mid wicket, and a long on, long off, and a deep point, 5 outside the circle to Manapotaya. My sense is that he's going to want to bowl this delivery outside the line of off stump. Have him hitting against the turn, more effective from that line. Tossed up. This is going down the leg side. And that's the exact opposite of bowling outside the line of off stump. So, a few extras in the innings so far. 7 extras by my unofficial count. 3 4s and 3 6s, all struck by Manapotaya. So about 55% of the runs coming in extras or in 4s. And this is going to be a double. Struck to backward point, really dabbed it to backward point, and then a little bit of football skills being essayed there by the fielder at backward point, but not able to field it cleanly, and then ends up conceding another couple. So Manapotaya now up to 39 from 26, 3 4s and 3 6s. Tossed up, whipped down into the deep. This should be fielded cleanly. That should be Satyapal Chabra, I believe, who's down there on the boundary. And should just get a single. Yep, that's all they'll get is a single. So Manapotaya now into the 40s. And you can see the slight difference that it makes when there's a left-hander and a right-hander at the crease. Obviously, we're talking about the Veterans Tournament. So all fielders, all participants in this tournament are 40 years old and older. So that does take a toll on you if you're consistently having to switch the fields when there's a lefty and a righty on strike. Doesn't matter as much if you're talking about 25-year-olds. Matters a little bit more when you're talking about older players. Goes for the big swipe. Misses this one. Good piece of keeping for the Texas Red Cobras. That is Syed Shafiq Ali. Good piece of work. Whips the bails off, but thankfully for Wakas Shahid, his back foot was grounded. But a welcome dot ball. 2 more balls here remaining in over number 8. And just 5 runs. Pretty chaotic couple overs before that. 16 runs coming from over number 7 and 10 coming from over number 6. But with that dot ball that you just saw, 1 ball remaining here in over number 8, just 5 runs coming from it. So this is a good over, good comeback over for Jignesh Desai. Slowing things down a little bit. Tossed up, playing into the offside. Oh, fumble. This really should have been stopped. Not stopped cleanly. So you can see the single off the last ball of over number 8. 6 coming from the over, 41 coming from the last 5. And the score after 8 is 58 for 1. Eight overs up, 58 for 1 is your score. New bowler now into the attack for the Texas Red Cobras is going to be Farhan Hamid. A little bit more spin Looking to bowl now to Waka Shahid, who again is the more quiet of the two, all the damage being done at the other end. Worked around the leg side, should just be one. So Farhan Hamid into the attack. Bowling over number 9. Farhan Hamid is a batting all-rounder. States that he does not necessarily have a cricket hero, so to speak. Highest level of cricket has been as a college player. And when he's not on the cricket field, loves a little bit of gardening. And speaking of gardening, we talked about the fact that this is a brand new surface, and there has been a lot of work done on the pitch itself. You would get the sense that the rest of the inner circle will catch up with the quality of the pitch. And again, so far the pitch appears to be playing perfectly fine, with the exception of a couple that have stayed low, but that will happen from time to time. I think the more important thing is to look how it behaves over the course of the entire match. And let's just say that if you're into over number 9 and you have 60 runs on the board, you have one batter who has 41 against his name from 28 balls with 3 4s and 3 6s, with a projected score of over 140 at this stage. Let's just say that we suspect that the pitch will be fine. Worked around the corner, so 3 consecutive singles to start over number 9. And from where you are now, you're looking essentially at accepting at this stage singles as you get them. For the most part, the Red Cobras have conceded a couple of really expensive overs, but to the extent that you can sort of limit the damage, particularly from Manapa Ataya. And I don't know if you can do that. This is straight down the throat of the fielder, and the deep puts it down. I think that's Kashif Rana on the boundary at mid-wicket. Seemed not to judge it completely accurately. Started going back and then ended up being not able to control it. It was about ankle height when it got to him, so that implies that he didn't necessarily judge it very cleanly. So 4 singles in a row to start over number 9, but it really should have been 3 singles and a wicket. And 2 deliveries remaining here now in over number 9. Farhan Hamid could have had a wicket inside his first over, but he's now bowling still a very economical over so far, going off the back foot. 5 consecutive singles to start over number 9. And almost an overthrow there, but a good backup by the captain, Kuldeep Patel. And so now, 1 delivery remaining in over number 9. You're down to the last 67 balls of this innings, and 9 wickets are in hand. So do you expect for Manapa Ataya to even be more enterprising than he's already shown? I think the answer to that question is likely yes, because you have a long way to go in terms of number of wickets and only 67 more balls, so you can expect that he could be hitting up more. Looking to defend this one though. Good delivery, good length, just that perfect short of driving length, and defended back to the bowler for no run. So good over. First over bowled by Farhan Ahmed, only concedes 5 runs. At the end of over number 9, the score is 63 for 1. Examination by spin continues as the captain himself, Kuldeep Patel, takes the ball, bowling from the Massey Ranch Road end. Off spinner these days. In his younger days, one of the more fiery, fast bowlers that you'll find anywhere here in the Houston area. Bowling to a field that is featuring 4 outside and 5 inside. Played off the back foot, no run, good start. Kuldeep Patel is not only bowling all-rounder but the team owner. This is wide. When he's not watching cricket, he's watching baseball because his son Karan Patel is a professional baseball pitcher. Karan Patel, one of the few people on the planet who can play both baseball and cricket at a very high level. This is dabbed into short third for a single. Kuldeep Patel's pinnacle of success came when he played for the USA national team. And his favorite cricketer is Kapil Dev. Not very surprising there. Somebody who is of similar vintage to yours truly. Not surprising that Kapil Dev is someone who would have featured as his favorite player. Back to this game. 2 deliveries here into over number 10. 2 runs already, 1 run off the bat and a wide. Make that 2 wides. This one is well down the line of behind leg. So, trying to keep the ball out of the hitting zone of Manapataya, but ending up spraying it down the leg side. Now, let's see what comeback he has here. Very good delivery. Very full Yorker length. Defended into mid-wicket for no run. And so now you're into the stage of the inning. 6 to 3 balls remaining. Kuldeep Patel working very quickly. Short down the leg side. And these are going to be wides. They get 1, they'll come back for 2. Remember, whatever they run here is increased by 1 because of the fact that it was a wide. So there's a signal from umpire Rakesh Jain. So 3 runs to the total. So 3 runs given away that time by the captain. Going to want to find that line outside the line of off stump. And that length has to be one that does not offer Manapataya the chance to get under it and drive it. Clipped to mid-wicket should just be a single. So 2 balls now remaining in over number 10. 7 from over number 10 so far. 44 runs from the last 5 to include the one in which we currently are. And the New Jersey Black Caps are really off to a good start. The scoring rate is 7.24. That rate projects to 145 on this brand new pitch. Looks to play this through the offside, a dot ball. So that definitely helps you. And Waka Shahid, who's been there for only 12 deliveries, been there a while, but only has faced 12 deliveries. Make that 13 deliveries. And this is a top edge flying down to short third. They'll get a single. That should be all they get. That is the end of over number 10. Halfway through the innings. And I believe we'll have a short water break here. 8 coming from that over. At the end of over number 10, the score is 71 for 1. A reminder that you're watching the Veterans Cricket USA inaugural T20 tournament. Tremendous initiative underway here for those players 40 years old and above. Grand sponsors are Nitya Capital, which is a leading real estate investment firm. Ultimate Vineyards, premium wine producer, catering dedicated to crafting exceptional wines that embody the spirit of excellence. Kadim Jewelers, renowned jewelry store with 6 locations in the Bay Area, in California that is. And finally, Stelton Sports, which is a sports complex in Piscataway. Going back to live action now. This is Farhan Hamid, who is into his second over. Attempted stumping, not able to get anything on that one. Good piece of work. Really looks solid behind the stumps the entire day. Syed Shafiq Ali. Syed Shafiq Ali, who privately I can say was a former teammate of mine in the Austin area, and of course played much higher levels of cricket than in Austin. Syed Shafiq Ali played for a while for the national team of Spain. Favorite cricketer, Vivian Richards. Anyone whose favorite cricketer is Vivian Richards is somebody who is very high up the scale in my book. By the way, that single work down to square leg now brings Munapotaya back on strike. 43 from 32, 3 fours and 3 sixes. Been quiet relatively for the last few deliveries. But a man who has shown the ability to be destructive cannot be taken lightly, and especially since you're now into the back end of the innings and have to be very careful here. Farhan Ahmed, oh, he knocked him over. Looking to play this one to mid wicket again. Has been a favorite scoring area of his so far, Munapotaya. But he plays all around a delivery that I suspect was going toward middle and off. And a little bit of turn taking it away from the left-hander. And it takes out off stump. So that is the end of the innings for Munapotaya. Looked very good while he was there. 43 from 32. Make that 33 with 3 fours and 3 sixes. But Farhan Hamid strikes. And that is the second wicket to fall. The score for the New Jersey Black Caps is now 72 for 2. So big wicket falls. Coming back for the second. Strong throw from the deep. Zubair Hussain has always been somebody who has a good strong throw from the deep. But not even he could get that one in the right area on time. So 2 deliveries remaining in over number 11. But it has been a successful one. Only 3 runs coming from it so far. And the big wicket of Munapotaya. So Uday Patel now back on strike. Faced 1 delivery, scored those 2 runs that you just saw. And you're down to the stage now. Only 56 balls left in this innings with 8 wickets in hand. Tossed up. in fact a low full toss, and played past the fielder inside the circle. That is Kuldeep Patel, the captain himself. Not able to get to it, so they'll get a single here. One ball remaining now in over number 11. So that slows the scoring rate down a little bit. 4 runs already from the over. Scoring rate of 6.92 that projects to a score of 138. Played off the back foot. Wanted a single, will not get it. Good work at backward point, and that is the end of a really good over. 4 runs coming from the over, and the wicket of Manapataya. The New Jersey Black Caps are 75 for 2. Kuldeep Patel, captain, ball in hand again, bowling his second over. Played off the back foot. Good stop at backward point. Good work. So dot ball starts over number 12. You're now down to the last 53 deliveries in the innings. Looking for the big drive again. Completely missing this one is Uday Patel. 3 from 4 for him so far. Once again, this is the inaugural Veterans Cricket USA T20 tournament. Kuldeep Patel, the captain of the Texas Red Cobras, looking to work through his through his overs really quickly here. Appeal for LBW not given, but 3 straight dot balls to start over number 12, and so the New Jersey Black Caps are decelerating very quickly. Started out really well. Scoring rate was up around 7.5 for a while, and it was projected to be over 150, but now that projection has come all the way down to 130 because the scoring rate has certainly slowed down a lot. Tossed up, goes for the big drive again and missing. So 4 straight dot balls. Are we going to have the first maiden of this match? So pressure definitely building here on Uday Patel. 3 from 7, make that 3 from 6. But it is the case where 4 straight dot balls have been bowled here in over number 12. Tossed up in the air, a long time, a long run, and Farhan Ahmed not able to get around in time. It did stay in the air for a really, really long time. I suspect a younger Farhan Ahmed might have been able to get to that, but it does land safely for a single. So that breaks up the maiden, but still a really economical over on the way. The last delivery stroked down the ground. 2 bounces back to Farhan Ahmed again. And so 2 runs coming from over number 12. Brilliant over. The scoring rate has slowed all the way down to 6.42. The score at the end of 12 is 77 for 2. Farhan Hamid has been in the thick of the action in the last few minutes, now bowling his third over. Stays low and he misses the attempted cut outside the line of off. And the parade of dot balls continues. It's been a while since we've had a boundary. In fact, the last boundary that was struck in over number 7. So you're now into over number 11. Make that over number 13. And yet again, continuing with a really economical period of play here, the Texas Red Cobras have come back into this match. 2 runs came from over number 12, 4 from over number 11, and 8 from over number 10 was expensive. Over number 9, 5 came from it. And what happens here? This goes a single down the ground. And my apologies, I might have just missed what happened. Oh, okay, my apologies. I may have just missed a wicket. Took my eye off the action for just a minute, and it appears as though there has been another wicket. So, might have just missed what happened there. I'll see what happens here. Yep, struck in the air and caught. My apologies. Missed that live, but that is the 3rd wicket that goes down. So, to the extent that you've brought things back, the Texas Red Cobras gotten to the point where a very fast start by the New Jersey Black Caps has been, for the most part, neutralized. And with the fall of that wicket, and again, I apologize for having missed it live, but that fall of that wicket means that you're now at the stage where 3 wickets are down and that run rate is all the way down to 6.16. And the new batter is coming to the wicket is Sanjay Patel to join Uday Patel because Waqas Shahid has been dismissed. And with that partnership only worth 5 runs, and I believe that you'll now see with Farhan Hamid having taken his 2nd wicket, that you'll see him being really the pick of the bowlers so far. 1 delivery, make that another delivery, 2 deliveries remaining over number 13. Farhan Hamid's figures so far, 2.4 overs, 2 for 9. So brilliant bowling. That is a low full toss that is played down to mid-on. Just a single, couldn't do much with that one. And now you're at the stage where no matter what happens from here, you're going to have to do something special to accelerate, because 1 ball remaining here in over number 13. So you're down to the last 43. The scoring rate is 6.08. If you continue along this same scoring rate, you'll get to 122. If you raise the scoring rate to 8 and over, you get to 135. 10 and over gets you to 150. It feels like you have to do some really good work to get up to 10 and over, because things have really slowed down. And a swipe across the line, not able to make contact, and yet another economical over. 1 run came from that over and a wicket. So the scoring rate once again slowing all the way down. 20 runs have come from the last 5, and the score at the end of 13 is 78 for 3. Kuldeep Patel with the ball in hand, bowling over number 14. Played down the ground. Farhan Hamid once again in the middle of the action. Kuldeep Patel's figures 2.1 overs, none for 10. Farhan Hamid, who has bowled 3 overs and 2 for 10, for me so far has been the pick of the bowlers. Tossed up, struck well toward extra cover. There's a few runs here, at least 2. And will it have the legs to get to the boundary? It does. Goes all the way for 4. So welcome boundary. The last boundary that was struck before that one was in over number 8. So that tells you that that was welcome. Absolutely needed. Uday Patel with that strike through extra cover. He's now up to 8 from 9 balls faced. And it feels like, even though they've both been relatively new to the crease, the one who may have to take control is Uday Patel himself. Tries the big swipe, maybe a bit too eager for the big shot that time. Uday Patel not able to make contact. By the way, those of you who are watching online, please feel free to join in on the conversation. As I always say, have a hard time filibustering for 3 straight hours during the course of a match. So if you want to lend any thoughts to what you're seeing here, any sort of suggestions as to what the score might be, how you think the pitch is playing, what's the weather like in Houston, anything at all that you want to add to the conversation, just to prevent me from having to speak by myself for as long as I have. And this is right up there in the block hole. A big swipe and a miss, and the off stump is disturbed. That is wicket number 4 that goes down. Kuldeep Patel strikes. So the bowling again has been really economical here in the last few overs, and it has resulted in pressure being built. That pressure, I believe, is what brought you that wicket, as Uday Patel, who was trying to go after the bowling. 8 from 11 is what he ends up with, but he loses his off stump here. The captain Kuldeep Patel striking, and that is the end of the day for the bat, or for Uday Patel with the bat. It does mean that Santosh Dani is coming to the wicket, and it also means that that scoring rate that we've spoken about a couple of times is now right at 6. So projected right now to be at 120 the rest of the way, the New Jersey Black Caps. And after the Red Cobras appear to have been wobbling a little bit for much of this innings, they appear to have retaken control of the proceedings, as the Black Caps themselves are the ones wobbling. So 83 for 4 is your score, with 1 ball remaining here in over number 14. And your new batter is going to be Santosh Dani. Santosh Dani, right-handed batter. And Kuldeep Patel, 1 delivery away from completing a successful 3rd over. Slower through the air, played into the offside. Should just be a single. That is a single, but yet again, another really successful over. 6 runs coming from it, and a wicket. At the end of 14, the score is 84 for 4. Once again, this is the inaugural Veterans Cricket USA T20 tournament. Sponsors are Nitya Capital, rather, a leading real estate investment firm. Ultimate Vineyards, which is a premium wine producer dedicated to crafting exceptional wines that embody the spirit of excellence. Kadim Jewelers, a renowned jewelry store with 6 locations in the Bay Area on the West Coast, California. And Stelton Sports, a sports complex in Piscataway, New Jersey, offering pickleball, badminton, cricket, softball, and baseball facilities. And the apparel sponsor is Umtex, a leading sportswear brand providing high-quality cricket gear and apparel for the players, officials, and staff. And really cannot put on a tournament like this without the successful contributions of sponsors like the ones I just mentioned. So thank you all for everything that you've contributed to this tournament so far. Full toss. Watch umpire Rakesh Jain here. Was that a no ball? It's going to be struck toward the boundary and for 4, but all eyes are on umpire Rakesh Jain and no signal there. So I think that you saw him signal that it was just at waist height. For those who are not familiar, a full toss that gets to the batter above waist height is deemed to be a no ball. It's an illegal delivery. It costs you 1 run and the next ball will be a free hit, but not adjudged to have been wide here by umpire Rakesh Jain. Knocked him over. Very next delivery, full in the block hole, really. Looking to play that to mid-wicket was Sandeep Patel. Scored a 4 with the previous ball, but this one tickles the furniture yet again. And so that is wicket number 5. Sandeep Patel only able to stay there for a partnership of 6 with Santosh Dani. He has to go. And that is yet another body blow landed by the Texas Red Cobras, and another brilliant day with the ball for Farhan Hamid continues. He has 2 balls remaining in his spell, and he has 3 wickets against his name. Absolutely brilliant bowling here for Farhan Hamid, and he, it feels, might be the one who is in the pole position at this stage for player of the match. Obviously, a lot needs to happen between now and the end of the match for that to be official, but I think you can argue that he's had the biggest impact on the match so far. 2 balls remaining here now in over number 15. New batter is going to be Chinmay Bat. Chinmay Bat, one of a number of batters who has come to the wicket a little earlier than they'd probably want to, because a good partnership had been developing for the 2nd wicket, but all of a sudden wickets have fallen in a bunch since then. Here's Farhan Hamid again. Knocked him over with the next delivery. And all of a sudden, Farhan Hamid has the opportunity to have a hat trick to close out his day with the ball. He's into his last over, so he has no more overs to bowl after this, but he has the opportunity with this last ball coming up to have a hat trick. Don't see that happen very often. And it appears at this stage, I would like to see how enterprising Kuldeep Patel, the captain, can get with his field settings here, because you have a rare opportunity to get Farhan Hamid to a hat trick with the last ball of his spell. So we'll see exactly what the field settings look like here. The new batter coming to the crease now is going to be Prashant Patel. Chinmay Bat faces 1 delivery, doesn't trouble the scorers. And Prashant Patel is coming to the wicket with his 1 immediate goal to keep Farhan Hamid from getting to his hat trick. Came on to bowl in the 9th over, Farhan Hamid, and bowled his 4 overs on the trot. So he's bowled overs 9, 11, 13, and now 15. And let's see what field we have here. There's a regulation slip. There's a leg slip. So those are your 2 attacking fielders. And there's fielders in the deep. Zubair Hussain at deep square leg. Now mid-wicket into the circle. And backward point. Extra cover is close. You still have fielders in the deep, long on, long off, and deep extra cover. So here is the hat-trick ball coming up to Prashant Patel. Oh, reaches forward, plays this defensively. Sort of anticlimactic there, but take nothing away from the absolutely brilliant spell bowled by Prashant Patel. 5 runs come from the over, but 2 more wickets. At the end of over number 15, you're down to the last 5, and the score is 89 for 6. Into the last 5 overs. This is Zubair Hussain, who bowled overs 2 and 4, who is now back for his second spell. A couple of dot balls to start over number 16. Zubair Hussain, and yet another former teammate of mine, and one of the fitter players that you'll see at any level of cricket. And even for somebody who is in his upper 50s, still very, very fit, very athletic. Oh, this is not going to be good. An overthrow, should have just been a dot ball, ends up being 2. All along, looking to where you are now. The last 27 balls of the innings coming up. That scoring rate now below 6. It's now down to 5.87. Zubair Hussain is the kind of bowler who excels in situations like this. Can sort of constrict things and keep scoring quiet. This ball is played into the offside. Faraz Simnani several years ago will probably have stopped that ball, but this time it gets through him for a single. 2 deliveries now remaining in over number 16. 92 runs on the board, and a lot of wickets have fallen in the last several overs. Whipped away into the deep, should just be a single. 18 runs have come from the last 5 overs. So that scoring rate in the last 5 overs has almost been like the scoring rate that you'd expect to hear in a test match. And with the last ball in over 16 now, this is struck into the extra cover region. This one is stopped cleanly. It's going to be a dot ball. That ball tossed way up in the air. Zubair Hussain does that every once in a while. Only 4 runs come from that over. 18 from the last 5. And the score is 93 for 6. Okay, so thank you all for acknowledging and taking up the challenge. Rafi Kazi, hello to you too. And I see all the usual suspects are jumping into the into the chat. Parakananta, good to hear from you as well. Jam Ali, you should be here, sir. Not exactly sure why you're in the comment section on YouTube instead of being here at the field. And now down to the last 4 overs. I'm definitely looking here at what this first innings is going to look like. But I can tell you essentially can take the pitch out of the equation. You've seen a couple of deliveries misbehave here and there, but I suspect that the result is not going to be anything to do with the pitch. It has more to do with the fact that there's been really, really good bowling by the Texas Red Cobras, and after the big wicket that fell from Manapotaya, the New Jersey Black Caps have had trouble generating any sort of momentum. By the way, this is Jignesh Desai back into the attack, bowling over number 17. And this is struck down to backward point. There's going to be just one run. Zubair Hussain bowled over number 16. Now Jignesh Desai 17. One would think with Amir Shahzad with 2 overs to go, you may see him come in and bowl maybe 18 and 20. And then maybe it would be Zubair Hussain who would bowl over number 19. We'll see exactly how Kuldeep Patel chooses to use his resources later on. Another single down the ground. So good start to the over in terms of what you're looking to get accomplished here at the back end of the innings. And this one also played into the offside. It's going to be another single. Down to the last 2 balls here in over number 17. So all in all, you have 20 deliveries remaining in the innings. And from 20 deliveries, the score of 96 means that really in order to get to 130, you'd have to go around 10 runs and over from here. Haven't really shown the fortitude to generate a scoring rate that high in the last several overs. Short and hammered away into the deep, but Zubair Hussain is right there. He's not going to drop that. Yet another wicket falls. Dragging this one down was Jignesh Desai. Probably not the best ball that he's ever bowled, but I would think that it wouldn't matter if you have a wicket beside your name, because once you get the batter to play in the air in the direction of Zubair Hussain, you can almost always be convinced that he'll never put it down. So yet another wicket goes down. That is wicket number 7. And at the end of over number 17, the score is 97 for 7. Kuldeep Patel now bowling his last over. Over number 18 underway, or over number 18 about to start. Bowling to Santosh Dani. Short and played into the offside. In fact, it goes down to Zubair Hussain at long off. So a single to start over number 18. And I'll tell you again, the scoring rate all the way down to 5.71 means that the Texas Cobras have done a really, really good job, a creditable job in bowling economically. They've conceded a few extras, 12 extras in all, but you can see that with this strangling spin attack, really we've only used one pace bowler so far, and that has been Amir Shahzad. So 2 overs of pace, and all of the other overs in this inning so far have been spin. So Chintan Patel now on strike. Tossed up, low full toss, struck down the ground. Farhan Hamid will make sure that this just stays 1. And so looking at where you are now, 16 balls remaining. The score is 99. This scoring rate, 5.71, projects now to 114. So that scoring rate is all the way down. They need to score 10 and over from here just to get to 126. And you only have 3 wickets in hand. So it leads you to the point where you may just be in danger of being bowled out, which you don't want to have happen. Here's Kuldeep Patel again. Played into the offside. Wanted a single there, but not going to get it. Parakanantha, Masters cricket is all about spinners. That would be the case for probably 2 reasons. Number one, because I don't know how many players would be comfortable coming off of 25 yards and sprinting into bowl at this age. Very frankly, Parakanantha, that's why you don't have me on the field, because there's no way I could lower myself to being a spinner. And let's just say that I'm perfectly happy being right here in the commentator's booth. So that single brings up the 100, by the way. So 100 on the board, so that looks good in the score books, but you do have more scoring to do here if you're New Jersey. Quick single, and that's going to be eventually taken. 1 ball remaining in over number 18. Once again, for those of you following, this is the inaugural Veterans Cricket USA T20 tournament right here in Pearland, Texas at the Moosa Cricket Stadium. Moosa Cricket Stadium, one of a handful of ICC certified stadiums in the country. And the second one to have that status, if I remember correctly. Last ball in Kuldeep Patel's spell. Here it is. Swipe and a miss. Appealing for stumping. Not given, but yet another economical over. 4 runs coming from over number 18. 4 runs came from over number 17. 4 runs came from over number 16. 5 from over number 15. That gives you a sense of how the bowling has gone. 23 coming from the last 5. 2 overs to go. The score is 101 for 7. Jignesh Desai, ball in hand, about to bowl his last over, the penultimate over of the innings. Short, pulled into the leg side. Zubair Hussain, just a single. Down to the last 11. Your batters are Chintan Patel, 2, make that 3 from 3. And Santosh Dani, 9 from 15. Neither has struck a boundary. And the strangling bowling of the Texas Red Cobras continues. Down the leg side, that may just have kissed something on the way through, though, so no wide given. And 102 runs. Obviously, you want to see what it looks like when both teams bat on this wicket, but so far, 102 runs doesn't appear like it will be enough. Played into the offside. A single gets Chintan Patel back on strike. Scoring rate all the way down to 5.57, and it is not often that you see the scoring rate decelerate as it gets toward the end of the innings, but that's exactly what's happening here. Worked into the deep. They may get 2 here. No. Zubair Hussain prowling, making sure that they only get 1. Down to the last 8. 103 runs, make that 104 runs on the board. And the Texas Red Cobras really done well to come all the way back into this match. Full struck past the bowler himself, just another single. Yet another over where just a limited number of runs are being scored. Just 4 coming from this over with 1 to come. And with 7 deliveries remaining in the innings, I think the Texas Red Cobras would have felt that their efforts have been paid off. And this last delivery is stumping being attempted. Beat him outside the line of off and collapsed out of his crease. Was Chintan Patel, but not able to get anything. Well, in fact, the stumping was affected, but he did manage to keep his foot inside the crease. But yet another dot ball, 4 coming from that over. 4 consecutive overs were only 4 runs scored. At the end of over number 19, end of the day with the ball for Kuldeep Patel, and the score is 105 for 7. Last over. Zubair Hussain playing this one down the ground. Farhan Hamid. Just 1 run. And you've come all the way down from a run rate of 7.5 to a run rate of 5.5. So the New Jersey Black Caps sputtering along. 106 runs on the board. They would consider themselves lucky from here to get to 115. I don't know where they manufacture those runs from. Zubair Hussain and Chintan Patel playing a little cat and mouse here. Zubair Hussain, very experienced as I mentioned, and very wily kind of bowler. Quicker delivery this time. Worked down the ground for a single. Throw going to the top end. Pretty strong arm shown here by Farhan Ahmed. Down to your last 4. 3.1, make that 3.2 overs for Zubair Hussain. None for 17. Jignesh Desai completed his spell. 1 for 24 from 4 overs. So going exactly at a run a ball for his spell. But more to the point, where you are in this innings right now, the Texas Red Cobras have full control over this game. This is played into the deep. Should just be a single. Wanted a second run, but Mustafa Himani, who's on the field now at deep mid-wicket, does prevent the damage and keep them to 1. So down to your last 3 balls here. Can you do something to manufacture a boundary? Can you play a scoop shot? Can you play a reverse sweep? Can you find some way down the track? Oh, that almost stuck. Diving attempt by the fielder, short mid-wicket. That's Rahil Khan, who did well, diving away to his left and not quite able to pouch it. To his right. Not able to pouch it, but does well. And then took a shot at the stumps at the same time. So really good work on his end. And just now down to the last 2 balls. In the air, in the gap. No, it's down toward Mustafa Himani. Should just be a single. And now 1 ball remaining. Do they have the fortitude to be able to manufacture a boundary from this last ball? Let's see exactly whether or not Santosh Dani can do exactly that, because it is not going to be easy. The bowling has been really very good from the Texas Red Cobras, and trying to see exactly how they can somehow manufacture a strike toward the back end of this innings that will result in a 4 or a 6. Here's the last ball of the innings. Down the track, should just be a single. They'll come back for 2. You expect that they'll come back for 2. The throw goes to the keeper's end. He'll get there with no trouble. That's Satyapal Chabra, who was down at long off, who fielded that cleanly. But what a day with the ball for the Texas Red Cobras. 1-1-1 for 7 is the final score. Excellent work Just looking at the full scorecard, dominated completely by Monapatia, 43 from 33 with 3 4s and 3 6s, a strike rate of 130. But after him, the next highest score was Santosh Dani, 15 from 21, Waka Shahid, 10 from 21, and all other batters for New Jersey were in single digits. So for the bowlers, first couple of overs bowled by Amir Shazad. Scoreboard says Jam Ali. Jam, I know you cannot be in the YouTube chat section and opening the bowling at the same time, so I assume that that's incorrect. And Amir Shazad, the only 2 overs of pace that were bowled. Everything else was spin. Zubair Hussain bowled well, Firoz Samani bowled well, Jignesh Desai bowled well, but Farhan Hamid is the star of the show with the ball. 4 overs, 4 for 15 are his figures. Kuldeep Patel, the captain, chipping in with 1 run, or with 1 wicket. So that is the end of the first innings. It does mean that when we come back in about 15 minutes, the Texas Red Cobras will need to score the total of 112 to take victory in this first match of the inaugural Veterans Cricket USA T20 tournament from right here at the Moosa Cricket Stadium in Pearland, Texas. Join us in about 15 for the run chase. Welcome back to the Moosa Cricket Stadium for the chase, where the Texas Red Cobras, after having restricted the New Jersey Black Caps to 111 runs, will be looking to overhaul a total of 112. They'll try to do that with the batters Swapnil Agarwal and Kashif Rana. Kashif Rana will take first strike in the red pads, and the man with the ball, according to my scorecard, is Tapash Baisya. The scorecard says something different. But either way, we'll have a lefty and a righty to open the batting. And all that the Texas Red Cobras need to do from here is score at the rate of 5.6 and over to win. Umpire Rakesh Jain is ready. Bowler appears to be ready. Right arm bowling over the wicket to the right-handed batter Kashif Rana. And a really fast start for the New Jersey Black Caps when they batted. Batted really well at the top. Manapa Utaya scored 43 runs, but it appears as though after he got out, the New Jersey Black Caps did not necessarily have a response to the spin attack of the Texas Red Cobras. Here we go. Full toss down the leg side, swept and stopped a short fan leg. I tell you what, that would have saved 4 runs because that ball was traveling and it went straight to the batter, or to the fielder, short fine leg. Might consider himself lucky there. Tapash Baisya. Right arm over the wicket again. Second delivery. Wraps him on the pad. Immediately indicating here, Rakesh Jain, that was missing outside off. Fair decision, I would think. From that angle, the ball is always slanting away from the batter, a little bit of outswing, and so not surprising that would have been given, or that would have been adjudged to have been not out. But a couple of dot balls to start with. Here's the next delivery. Bang on target again. So good start with the ball. The line was a little bit wayward in the first delivery, but the next 2 have been bang on target. And Tapash Baisya has started out really well and looking to see how he can essentially close out and over here by, from his standpoint, looking to build some pressure. Next delivery. Driven past the bowler for the first run. Mid-on in position to clean that one up. That is Keval Patel, the captain. The first run for the day for the Red Cobras is off the bat of Kashif Rana. So 2 balls remaining here in over number 1. Again, they only need to score at the rate of 5, from here 5.7 and over. So essentially a run off of every ball the rest of the way wins this match for them. 116 balls remaining and then 111 runs to get. So very easy to do it in singles from here. And he switches to go around the wicket. Drive and a miss. Not able to get any bat on that. Goes through to wicketkeeper Manapa Taya, who again started very handily with the bat when the New Jersey Black Caps batted early on. And now he is, having done really well in front of the stumps, is going to try to do just as well behind them. Last ball coming up in over number 1. Saw exactly how well the spin attack was for the Red Cobras. This is down the leg side and going to be adjudged wide, and they'll get just 1 additional run. So 2 runs to the total. There's a signal from umpire Rakesh Jain. Interestingly, you saw that ball get loose and rolled perilously close to the helmet behind the stumps. Just for those who are not aware, if the ball hits the helmet, that immediately is 5 penalty runs adjudged against the bowling side or to the batting side. Last ball coming up here in over number 1. Back to the bowler himself. Well bowled. Really good start with the ball. Had a wide in there. A couple of deliveries that were maybe not quite on the right line, but overall, just an over where 3 runs scored and only one of those runs came from the bat. So, brilliant over overall by Tapesh Baizia. That is the end of over number 1. The score is 3 without loss. Three without loss. And taking the ball in hand is the imposing figure of Sanjay Pandya. Really good orthodox left arm spinner. Bowling around the wicket, slanting the ball across the left-handed Swapnil Agarwal. So left-hander bowling around the wicket to a left-handed batter. So essentially you can take LBW out of the equation. But what it does create is that angle going across. And that's why you have a slip fielder in position. That is Prashant Patel at first slip. There's a short third. And there's a fielder at backward point. All to be able to induce the batter to play in that direction. Interestingly, now they've gotten rid of the slip fielder. There's a now short third, a fine short third. And the backward point, that delivery goes straight to that fielder. So if you're defending 112, one would think, particularly during the power play, you'd want to be as aggressive with your field settings as possible. But much more defensive field here being set by Sanjay Pandya than the first delivery that was bowled. Tries to work this one away, gets it away down to short, in fact to mid-on. I'll just get a single. So, as I was saying, yes, both teams have to bat on the pitch, but generally speaking, the pitch I would think would not need to be part of the calculus. I think it's going to play well enough that you just have to worry about doing what you need to do to get to the total. So you take the pitch out of the equation and you're looking now at needing to score another 108 in 110 balls. And so from looking to sweep down the leg side, that is a wide, that's a bonus run. So now just 107 needed in 110 balls. So from the standpoint of the fielding side, you sort of need wickets, and especially during the power play, I'm surprised that there's not much more in terms of an aggressive field set. Quick single taken to mid-on. 1 ball remaining here in over number 2. It's a good start with the ball by Sanjay Pandya. He's a very good bowler, tremendous bowler actually. And similar to when Zubair Hussain bowled inside the power play, he generally is somebody who's very, very difficult to get away. And we'll see what he's able to develop from this next delivery. But my sense is that if he can build pressure at this stage of the innings, I'd certainly want to see a more attacking field that he's bowling to. Works off the back foot. Should just be 1, even though they may think about 2. They do come back for 2. Good running. And that is, in fact, Swapnil Agarwal himself, who made the decision to go for that second run. He was running to the danger end and took responsibility for that. So good running on his part. 5 runs coming from the over. Good start overall with the ball for the New Jersey Black Caps. 2 overs up, 8 without loss. 2 overs in the books. No wickets yet for the New Jersey Black Caps. The Texas Red Cobras need to score at the rate of 5.78 to win. I don't think they'll be very concerned with that at this stage. About to bowl his second over. This is played into the offside. So the scoreboard again reads Dipesh Patel. My scorecard says Tapash Baishya. So let's assume that it's Tapash Baishya who's bowling. Right arm over the wicket. Dot ball to start over number 3. So he's done well enough to keep pressure. That's well fielded at mid wicket. Good work. Absolutely good work, actually. That is fast. In fact, that is Prashant Patel at mid wicket. So a couple of dot balls to start here in over number 3. Bowling really well so far. Tapash Baisya. 1.2 overs, none for 3. So conceded a couple of runs with a wide, but apart from that, just 1 run off the bat. Make that 3 runs off the bat, as I think they'll get 2 here pretty easily. And in fact, they might come back for a third. They do come back for a third. Not a very strong throw from the deep at all. That's good work. Good running. Obviously, one of the things that you don't pay attention to if you're watching 25-year-old men play cricket, but something that you absolutely pay attention to if there's the field of the players are all over 40, is how many times they can run 3s. So that definitely calls for a level of athleticism and a level of fitness that may be fleeting for some fielders or some players who are over the age of 40. But this pair able to run through and get those 3 runs without much trouble. And in fact, no, my apologies. They only ran 2 on that. No, they ran 3. So I'd want to know why the scorecard is wrong, because I'm pretty sure they ran 3. Played off the back foot. There's a fielder in the deep at deep third. They'll just get 1. And so I will maintain the score unofficially here is 12 without loss. And the official scorecard says 11. But pretty sure that on that third delivery of the over, they ran 3 runs, even though the scorecard shows them as having run 2. So something to pay attention to. Don't know that that will make a big difference in the context of this game, but just pay attention to that. 100 runs on the board. His next delivery. Oh, I'm sorry, 100 runs needed. Dot ball here, so 1 ball remaining in over number 3. I will actually defer to the official scoreboard. So let's change my 3 to a 2. But even though I'm pretty sure that that was a 3 that was run on the 3rd ball of this over, we'll say that it was a 2 just to keep up with the actual scoreboard. 11 is the score with 1 ball remaining here in over number 3. And this is played past the diving field at mid-off. Chintan Patel not able to get to it. A couple of runs. It is going to be the captain, Keval Patel. Strong throw from the outfield, and that strikes the fielder or the runner, Swapnil Agarwal. Luckily for him, he was not injured. And that is 2 more runs to close out over number 3. 5 coming from the over. At the end of 3, the score is 13 without loss. This is a veterans cricket inaugural USA T20 tournament. Sanjay Pandya with the ball in hand, about to start his second over, the fourth of the innings. Just a reminder, sponsors are going to be Nitya Capital, a leading real estate investment firm; Ultimate Vineyards, a premium wine producer dedicated to crafting exceptional wines that embody the spirit of excellence; Kadim Jewelers, a renowned jewelry store with 6 locations in the Bay Area; Stelton Sports, a sports complex in Piscataway, New Jersey, offering pickleball, badminton, cricket, softball, and baseball; and apparel sponsor Omtex, which is a leading sportswear brand, and they provide high quality cricket gear and apparel for players, officials, and staff. Again, Sanjay Pandya into his second over. The first ball is a dot. Second ball is a dot. And boy, I would absolutely love to see a slip fielder in position here. It's gone past the outside edge that time. The attempted cut shot by Swapnil Agarwal was not successful. He knocked him over. Didn't need a slip this time. On the back foot, Swapnil Agarwal. Maybe you wanted him to go forward a little bit more on that. And the ball stays just a touch low. And unfortunately, when you go back to a foolish ball like that, you really don't have anyone to blame if it misses the bat and disturbs the furniture. So the first wicket goes down. Swapnil Agarwal choosing to go back, and that ends up losing his stumps. First wicket means that brings Jignesh Desai, the left-handed batter. Saw him bowl earlier on, but his job now is going to be to bowl or to bat left-handed batter, so he will be definitely able to keep the same left-hand right-hand combination that you saw. And that puts us in a position where we'll now have a former USA cricket captain at the crease. Now, as far as the New Jersey Black Caps are concerned, you don't get to 10 wickets without first getting to 1, so you absolutely will take that. 3 delivers into over number 4. Sanjay Pandya strikes with his third delivery of his second over. And this, for me, is an interesting matchup. Left armer Sanjay Pandya bowling to a very experienced campaigner, Jignesh Desai. And let's see if he maintains the same angle. It looks as though he's going to continue bowling around the wicket. So still looking for that angle, slanting across the left-hander. Two fielders in the deep. One is at deep mid-wicket and the other is long on. So those are the two outside. Sanjay Pandya to Jignesh Desai. Really high back lift. Almost thought for a split second that he was going to try to go big down the ground. Not able to pull that one off, but one gets the sense that he will have a lot to do with what happens from here. Jignesh Desai. Oh, staying just a touch low that time as well. Does well to keep it out. So Sanjay Pandya, as I mentioned, you know he's a good bowler. You know that he'll make a big impact on the game. Here's the last delivery for over number 4. Played off the back foot, and he will get off the mark here. He'll just get one. Oh, coming back for the second. Oh, my goodness. He's giving it away. Oh, my goodness. He is absolutely furious, Jignesh Desai, because he is marching off after having run himself out. You get the sense that the second run would have been there, but there was no response from Kashif Rana. And Jignesh Desai kept coming, and Rana stayed at the wicket at his end. And all of a sudden, they were both at the same end. The throw came from the deep. Not a very good throw. Bounced around a little bit, but with both batters at the same end, the New Jersey Black Caps did not have much to do to be able to effect a run out. So absolutely shambolic performance that time by that pair batting together. Kashif Rana and Jignesh Desai, that did not go well at all. And looking at him walking off the field, he's not happy in any way. And that is the end of an over where 2 wickets fall. 1 run scores and they take 2 wickets. So that is a very successful over from that standpoint for the New Jersey Black Caps. At the end of 4, the score is 14 for 2. Well, the Texas Red Cobras are not going to be happy with what just transpired. They are still ahead of the game, but they will now have to steady the ship, and they'll have to do it against good, accurate left arm bowling because, again, this is going to be Chintan Patel, the vice captain and left arm orthodox spinner, and will be bowling to the new batter, who is now going to be Raheel Khan. So Raheel Khan taking strike after an absolutely shambolic run out. Runouts happen at all levels of cricket, and you don't ever like to be the one responsible for a run out, but I have to say that one they'll want to look at and learn from because you don't want to see that happen again. Starting bang on target here, Chintan Patel, always very accurate, very similar to Sanjay Patel and Sanjay Pandya in that way. Just generally just in and around the stumps and makes you play, and particularly with the left armer looking to turn the ball away from the right hander, he's always going to be coming at you. So pay attention to him because once again he can be very difficult to dislodge or to get away. Good deliver there, slower through the air. You see there on that replay, just able to just get that ball exactly in the right areas and what you're wanting to do as a bowler at this stage to a team that's on the back foot, that you absolutely have to make them play every single ball, nothing free. Don't give them any free siders, just keep coming at them like that. Inside edge onto the pad, trickles to a short third, no run. So pressure is continuing to build, and where you are right now, I talked about the fact that you could get there easily in singles. Well, the required rate is now up above 6. Required rate is 6.32. 93 balls remaining, and you have 98 runs to get. So you're nowhere near being sort of needing to panic yet, the Red Cobras, but the game has gotten away from you a little bit. And 4 dot balls here from Chintan Patel means that that pressure is continuing to build. So to the extent that you can continue building that pressure, the captain himself is down at long on, waiting for the catch. See just the signal between bowler and captain there. Oh, goes across the line and given. Oh, that's what the pressure does. Absolutely looking to sweep that one square. That is terminal to do that to a full delivery, bang on target. And from my perspective, I think umpire Rakesh Jain is dead on correct. That would have been crashing into middle and leg. Don't know if we can see another replay of that, but for me that looked like from the left armor around the wicket, slanting it in, and very, very full. And so for me, that appears to have been crashing into middle and leg. And boy, had you scored 4 or 5 or 6 runs from the over already, I don't know that you play that shot, Raheel Khan. But for me, it is the pressure that was built up until that stage that induced that rash shot, completely choosing to go across the line. And Chintan Patel, in his first over, is one delivery away from a wicket maiden. Boy. And in the meantime, the job continues to get more and more difficult, because now the required rate, which we'll continue to pay attention to, started out at 5.6, is now up to 6.46. 14 runs are on the board. You're one delivery away from over number 5 being finished. And boy, do you continue to pile on the pressure? Do you put more fielders in attacking positions? That is exactly what it looks like, because mid-on and mid-off are inside the circle. Captain Keval Patel is now inside the circle. In fact, is well inside the circle. He's almost at a short, very, very short mid-on. Here's the last delivery for over number 5. Appeal, LBW, not given, but it is a wicket maiden. Not sure what the standing around is, but okay, that's the end of the over. A brilliant over bowled by Chintan Patel, a wicket maiden, and that is a really, really difficult job for the Texas Cobras, Red Cobras, to climb out of. As of right now, they are looking, staring down the barrel. That wicket maiden means that after over number 5, the score is 14 for 3. Examination of left arm spin continues. Sanjay Pandya into his third over. Starts with a ball played into the onside, and they'll get a single. That's the first run in a really, really long time. Bearing in mind, over number 4 from Sanjay Pandya only conceded 1 run. Then over number 5 was a wicket maiden. So that run that you just saw was the only the second run in the last 13 deliveries. And all of a sudden, the Red Cobras are making these runs look high. Appeal for LBW and gone. Caught him on the back foot, Satyapal Chabra. He'd only faced 1 ball before to that stage, and trapped him on the back foot. Look at this. From left arm around the wicket again. Quicker through the air. Boy, bang on target. And umpire Myron James with a good long look, but then deciding that that was crashing into the furniture also. So the second LBW decision given here in the last couple of overs. And the Texas Red Cobras are absolutely struggling. They're 15 for 4. Your 2 deliveries into over number 6. The power play almost is irrelevant at this stage, because now what you need is wickets, and you need them very, very quickly. I'm sorry, you need runs, and you need them quickly, because to the extent that you only needed 112 runs to win, you would have felt good coming into this chase. But 2 deliveries into over number 6, 4 of your top order are already back in the hut, and you're now down to the stage where you're starting to get desperate, needing to score from here 6.6 runs and over the rest of the way. And with 4 back in the hutch, the 2 at the wicket are Mustafa Himani and Kashif Rana. And just a handful of minutes ago, I was about to ask Mustafa Himani to come join me in commentary. I think he will have to wait until he takes care of the immediate immediate concerns. The immediate concern would be steadying the ship and keeping out Sanjay Pandya. Here's the first ball to him. Defended for no run. My goodness. All of a sudden, this target of 112 is starting to look like 212 because this is really good bowling by the New Jersey Black Caps. 3 balls remaining here in over number 6. 2 balls remaining as that tight bowling continues. 1 run came from this over so far and a wicket. No runs and a wicket the over before that. Over before that, 1 run and 2 wickets. You've actually had more wickets in the last few 3 overs than you have runs. Plays it off the back foot. Still a dot. Oh, that's not exactly accurate. You've had 3 wickets in the last... No, you've had 4 wickets and then 3 runs. So that's absolutely accurate. 1 ball remaining here in over number 6. The power play is about to be finished. Only 15 runs on the board. Mustafa Himani on strike. Tossed up. Split second. You thought he might have been going big, but chooses to just bunt it to mid-wicket for a dot. 1 run comes from over number 6. What an absolute turnaround in this match for the New Jersey Black Caps. They have the Texas Red Cobras on the back foot, well and truly on the back foot. And the score after 6 is 15 for 4. Texas Red Cobras are, let's just say, up against it. Chintan Patel to continue. Bowling to Kashif Rana, striking it in the air, almost carried back to the bowler himself. And a welcome run here for Kashif Rana. Has been there a while, opened the batting, 7 from 12. And one got the sense that they were in control of this chase, the Texas Red Cobras, but 4 wickets have fallen in a really quick succession. And they're now, for me, looking down the barrel of something really tragic here unless they can turn things around. Mustafa Imani off the back foot to backward point, no run. 82 balls remaining, 96 runs needed. So that required rate is now up above 7. It started out around 5.6. My goodness, this absolutely has gotten to the stage where things are looking more and more difficult. And look at this. He goes right through Mustafa Himani. Knocks him over. Left or leg stump is pegged back. Looking to play that one across the line, Mustafa Himani. Let's just say he now has the opportunity to come commentate if he'd like, but my sense is that he may prefer not to at this stage, because that does mean that half of the side is out. Oh my goodness. This match, one got the sense, could be over with relatively quickly, but I did not think that the match being over with quickly would mean that the Red Cobras were on the verge of being bowled out. But it is the case that with only 16 runs on the board, half of the side is back in the pavilion. And it is now going to be up to Syed Shafiq Ali to join Kashif Rana. to somehow not just steady the ship, but now you're in danger of having that required rate get out of control. And a good bowling attack. Chintan Patel is a brilliant bowler. He has 2 overs and 3 balls remaining after this. Sanjay Pandya has 1 over remaining. My sense is that they'll probably try to pile on the pressure by keeping him on. And so the chase is going to get more and more difficult over the next several deliveries and over the next few overs. Chintan Patel, really good bowler, and again, 16 runs is all you have on the board, so 96 more runs needed. So you've gotten 14% of the way there to the chase, and you've lost half your side. 14% in terms of the number of runs that you need. And now Chintan Patel now going to be bowling again to Syed Shafiq Ali. He's a wicketkeeper batter, former national player for Spain. And he's going to have to draw on all of his experience here. Well, that's a little redundant. Every player here is experienced, but he's going to have to somehow manufacture a way to get his side picking up runs. You're now outside of the power play, and every single fielder is inside the circle. Absolutely piling on the pressure here in New Jersey. Wraps him on the pad. Oh, he's giving him first ball. So Syed Shafiq Ali is victim to the 3rd LBW decision. Rakesh Jain with a nice long look. I think the question would have been, was Syed Shafiq Ali forward enough? He did take a huge stride forward. So when you take a big stride forward, as an umpire, you have to consider whether it is something you take into consideration. But it does not automatically mean that if you are forward, then you're not out. And I think that can sometimes be a bit of a point of contention, because you can get a good stride in as a batter, but if the ball hits you low enough on the pad, then the umpire's opinion would be, I don't have to adjudicate on height, I just have to adjudicate on line, whether or not the ball would have carried on that same trajectory to hit the stumps. This time, umpire Rakesh Jain believing that this would indeed have carried on to hit the stumps. And so Syed Shafiq Ali, unfortunately for him, not able to disturb the scorers. And all of a sudden, again, 6 wickets down inside 6 overs and 4 balls. Absolutely amazing. And it is now the case that Chintan Patel is on a hat-trick. And the man who I believe, in fact, who I said a few hours ago, maybe an hour or so ago, who was in the pole position for player of the match, that feels like the furthest thing in the world from the reality right now, because the number one job for Farhan Ahmed for this next ball is going to be to stave off a hat-trick. And after staving off the hat-trick, he's going to be looking at a required rate of over 7. It's now 7.2. With the hat-trick ball, interestingly, there's a deep, fine leg. It is a really curious position to have for a fielder, a spinner bowling, left-arm spinner bowling orthodox spin to a right-handed batter with a hat-trick ball. Not sure why you'd need the deep, fine leg. But he knows what he's doing, Chintan Patel. So let's see exactly what happens. This is a hat-trick ball. Again, 2-2 already. And here is the hat-trick ball coming up. He'll be bowling to Farhan Ahmed. Here's the hat-trick ball. Stays low, my goodness, and beats him outside off. But unfortunately, it does mean that he did not get the hat-trick, but he does get another dot ball. So a single from the first ball in the over, but 4 consecutive dots, 2 of which have been wickets. Here's the last ball of over number 7. Slower through the air. Started to wind up to go for the big shot. Ended up not doing that, Farhan Hamid. So that is the end of yet another brilliant over for the New Jersey Black Caps. And the Texas Red Cobras are up against the wall. Absolutely up against the ropes. End of 7. The score is 16-6. As I suspected, Sanjay Pandya is bowling his last over. This is a single down the ground. This is an absolute examination by left arm spin. And the Texas Red Cobras appear to not be up to the challenge. The last 7 overs in a row have been, make that last 6 have been left arm spin. Chintan Patel 2, and Sanjay Pandya is now into his 4th. And in those overs, they've shown really an inability to get away with much. Now you're out of the power play. You're into the 8th over. Works this way down. In fact, he tries to work it away down the leg side, but it goes as a wide. They'll get a couple runs, +1, of course, with the wide. Umpire Myron James will signal as much right now. So 3 welcome runs. And believe it or not, 6 extras so far. And those 6 extras comprise 30% of the total of the runs for the Texas Red Cobras. So nothing coming off the bat. No boundaries struck yet. And with 77 runs or 77 balls remaining, still 92 runs to get. Played confidently into the offside for no run. So Farhan Ahmed faced 3 deliveries, has not yet gotten off the mark. Kashif Rana 9 from 14. Again, examination by spin continues. Struck down the ground here, and he does get off the mark here, Farhan Ahmed. But now 3 deliveries remaining in over number 8. When the New Jersey Black Caps batted, at this stage of the innings, they had 58 runs on the board. Believe it or not. In fact, they had 52. Looking to sweep this away around the leg side. Didn't get anything on it, but yet another wide. So 52 runs is where the New Jersey Black Caps were when they batted after 7 overs. After 7 overs, after 7 overs, the New Jersey side certainly doing much, much better than the Texas Red Cobras. And all of a sudden, you're going to see a continual struggle here for the Red Cobras unless they can do something differently. This is played into the offside. No run. In fact, for a single. And 1 ball now remaining here in over number 8. 6 wickets down. And this is really, really less than ideal if you're a Texas Red Cobras supporter, because where you are now is really, you're staring down the barrel of a really big defeat at home to start the tournament. Played back to the captain himself, running across from short mid-wicket. They'll get a single. 8 runs coming from the over. 4 of those 8 were extras. But what a brilliant spell by Sanjay Pandya. 2 for 15 from his 4 overs. And he again has his team well out in front of this match. The New Jersey Black Caps have the Texas Red Cobras struggling. The Cobras are 24 for 6 after 8. 24 for 6. The Texas Red Cobras once again well and truly on the back foot. And the bowler coming now from the Massey Ranch Road end is going to be Santosh Dani. Santosh Dani, right arm over the wicket. Played off the back foot. Farhan Ahmed can't get a run there. So they might feel a sense of relief here, the Texas Red Cobras, because their examination of spin, of left arm spin, at least for the moment, has been cancelled. Played into the offside, can't get a run there. So Masters Cricket USA, Chintan and Sanjay are the star left arm spinners for Team USA. By the way, Masters Cricket USA, exactly who are you? Let me know. Played off the back foot, 3 consecutive dots. And yes, I do agree that it's good to see Chintan bowling spin. Spin certainly appears to be more effective than pace, particularly in this tournament, based on early results so far and based on what you see from this wicket. 4 straight dot balls. Oh, no. Spoke too soon. That's a dot ball that's converted to a single down the ground. But all of a sudden, again, you're in the situation now where you're looking up at a pretty big defeat. You still have way more runs to get. You need another 87, and you need them in the next 6 to 8 balls. And I'll go over where the New Jersey Black Caps were at this stage in a minute. This is played into the offside. Throw to the non-strikers, and they'll get a single. At the end of over number 9, the New Jersey Black Caps had 63 runs on the board. With 1 ball remaining in over number 9, the Texas Red Caps have 26. So they are way behind the rate or the pace that would have been set by the New Jersey Black Caps, and they've lost 6 wickets. And played back to the bowler for no run. Yet another successful over in terms of limiting the scoring. 2 runs coming from that over. Ladies and gentlemen, the last 5 overs have yielded 12 runs for the Red Cobras, and the noose continues to squeeze for New Jersey. End of 9, the score is 26 for 6. Into over number 10. And the new bowler is going to be Hitesh Patel. Hitesh Patel, who, believe it or not, is another left-arm bowler, bowling around the wicket. Bowling to Farhan Ahmed. Farhan Ahmed, 3 from 10. Oh, full driven toward mid-wicket. They should get a couple. Running between the wickets, at least on one occasion, has been absolutely tragic here for the Red Cobras. but they maneuver 2 here without much fuss. So see what they're able to do from here, because the job gets that much harder. We'll go over some projections in a minute. Down the leg side, yet another wide. So about the only thing keeping the Texas Red Cobras within shouting distance of achieving this target is the extras. Over a quarter of the runs that have been scored for the Red Cobras have been by extras. They have 30 runs on the board, and 8 of them have been extras. Played into the deep. Sanjay Pandya not able to field it at short mid wicket. And now the last 3 balls here in over number 10. At the end of 10, the New Jersey Black Caps had 71 runs on the board, and we're talking about a projected score of over 140. Played into the offside, another single. With 2 deliveries remaining here in over number 10, the Texas Red Cobras have the small matter of 32 runs on the board, not even halfway to the total that was achieved by the New Jersey Black Caps at the similar stage in the game. Tossed up off the outside edge to short third. That is, in fact, that is Waka Shahid who fields that one cleanly enough that doesn't cost him a run. And 1 ball remaining now here in the last over, or in the last over before what we believe is going to be a quick water break. That is a dot. 6 runs come from the over, 1 of which was a wide. 18 from the last 5. The score after 10 is 32 for 6. And no indication. In fact, yep, there is a couple of fielders walking on the field, which indicates to me that we're about to have a short water break. So let's go silent for a little bit, and we'll join you back in about 2 minutes. Welcome back to the Moosa Cricket Stadium in Pearland, Texas, for the opening of your Veterans Cricket USA inaugural T20 tournament. The Texas Red Cobras are absolutely up against it here. 10 runs or 10 overs into the books, and they barely have more than the 10 runs that I mistakenly said just now. They only have 32 runs. 6 wickets are down. They need another 80 in the next 10. And it will not be easy because this is going to be Santosh Dani to continue. We'll be bowling to Kashif Rana, who opened the batting 13 from 19. Farhan Hamid, 6 from 14, is the non-striker. This is played past extra cover. They should just get 1. No, they're coming back for 2. The running hasn't been brilliant, but what you need to do from this stage, if you're the Texas Red Cobras, you have not yet struck any boundaries. I don't know that I've ever seen a T20 match where you've gone through the entire first 10 overs without a single 4 or 6 being hit. That for me is a first. But what's important is that you need to get runs on the board, and whether you do it by singles or whether you do it by turning 1s into 2s, the urgency absolutely has to be there. You'll get a single here on the second ball of over number 11. And this again is Santosh Dani. First over he bowled went for only 2 runs. Already conceded 3 here in this his second over. A slightly more defensive field now. So there's the long on and long off deep mid wicket and the sweeper on the offside. Those are your 4 outside. Oh, gets right through the field of extra cover. Really should have been stopped there. Chintan Patel is a really good fielder, but he will know that that one should have been stopped, because what you're looking to do now is just keep piling on the pressure if you're New Jersey. And you release the pressure immediately by turning a dot into a single. Tried to go big, not able to make contact. 2 remaining here in over number 11. Still only 36 runs on the board. Another 76 runs needed for victory for the Red Cobras. And again, that 36 runs nowhere near what New Jersey had at the similar start. So slightly even more defensive field now as Chintan Patel is was dropping back to an extra cover position on the circle. Now gone a little bit square, and short extra cover is now in position. Nobody inside the circle on the leg side in front of square. Looks for the big drive, misses out on the big drive. 8 runs, doesn't sound like a lot, but it is far and away the most expensive over of the inning so far for the Red Cobras. They'll accept that, and that is exactly the rate at which they need to score the rest of the way to win. 11 overs up, 40 for 6. Hitesh Patel, low full toss, struck down the ground by Farhan Ahmed. I said it earlier. As of right now, what you're trying to do as the Cobras is just to get singles. Or really, you need runs of any flavor, but you certainly need a consistent rate of scoring. Dot balls absolutely hurt your cause. That required rate sneaking upwards. It is now up to 8.19. Oh, that for a split second you thought it was there for the drive, went for the big drive, and the ball trickled back on toward the stumps. That is a good piece of heads up awareness by Kashif Rana, because that ball was trickling backward and would have gone back on to hit the stumps. You are allowed as a batter to either use your feet or your bat, anything else but your hand, to prevent the ball from hitting the stumps under those circumstances. And if you use your hand, then you're out handled ball, but you're allowed to use either your feet or your bat if that happens. So just a little bit of, let's call it inside baseball. 3 delivers remaining here in over number 12. Boy, this is looking more and more difficult for the Texas Red Cobras. Hitesh Patel bowling really well so far. This is played to mid-wicket. Oh, wanted a run there, but not possible. So his figures, Hitesh Patel, 1.4 overs and none for 7. One floated up there, not making any made contact, but can't get it past the bowler, Kashif Rana. So he's been there for a while. Opened the batting, 20 for 28. In fact, that was the last ball of the over. My apologies, missed that. That is the end of over number 12. The score is 41 for 6. Some more spin. It's going to be Prashant Patel to take up the bowling. His first over. Played into the offside for no run. Prashant Patel fires this one too wide, so you'll gladly accept any free runs that you get from the stage. But that required rate is now close to 9. And with each dot ball, in fact with that dot ball, it's now up above 9. It is now 9.13. And it is absolutely going in the wrong direction if you are the Texas Red Cobras. Played down the ground for a single here. Down to the last 45 balls of the innings. When the Texas or in the New Jersey Black Caps batted in over number 13, they were going at exactly a run a ball. They finished over 13 at 78 runs on the board. You are 35 runs behind that pace as of right now. Worked into the deep, Kashif Rana. About the first ball that's left the infield in a really long time. Fielded in the deep, fielder deep mid wicket. 2 balls remaining on over number 13, and a far way away from 50 Certainly far away from the target. Here's the next delivery. Wide. I made the point earlier. Outside of extras, let's just say the high score in the game so far is, or in the innings so far, is Kashifrana, 21 from 30. The next highest score is extras with 10. So that tells you or gives you a sense of how this chase is going. That is a single down the ground. So one ball remaining now in over number 13. 49 balls remaining. Make that 43 balls remaining here in the innings. And the Texas Red Cobras are staring down the barrel again of a pretty ignominious defeat here at home. Played into the leg side. No run there. Yet another absolutely brilliant over. 5 runs coming from it, 3 of which were off the bat, 2 were wides. And the Texas Red Cobras in the next 7 overs are going to need 66 runs. Hital Patel, or Tesh rather, Patel, about to bowl over number 14. Played off the back foot. A couple of runs here at least. They'll get a couple. That is Keval Patel, the captain. 2 welcome runs. Farhana made 12 from 21. Kashifrana 21 from 31. Kashifrana has the only 4 that has been struck in the innings so far for the Texas Red Cobras. So they are a long way away from showing any sort of ability to go after these runs based on a power game. No power strokes apart from that one boundary that was struck in over number 11. You're now into over number 14. So you're down to the last 40 balls, and in 40 balls you need 63 runs. So there has to be some element of power game that is on display. Otherwise you're going to run the risk of losing this pretty easily. This is lofted in the air. Down to mid-on, it will only take 1 run though. So unless you show an ability to manufacture runs from somewhere, I'm afraid that this approach is not going to be good enough to win this game. Tries to go big, gets it wide of or too straight for the fielder at extra cover, so it'll get a single here. But once again, the required rate now 9.6. Essentially, you need 10 runs and over from the stage. You need, in the next 37, 38 balls, you need 61 runs. Gets it around square or behind square, and it will run away for 4. So you need way more strokes than that. And it may be that Kashif Rana, who has been there from the beginning, again, open the batting, he may have to be the one to sort of try to generate some sort of momentum, to do something to get your hopes up toward getting toward the total that you're trying to chase. Next delivery. Down the ground. This is going to be a couple more probably. And in fact, 4 more. So look at this. Consecutive 4s and over number 14. 13 runs, far and away the most productive over for the Texas Red Cobras. And Kashif Rana now up to 30 from 34 with three boundaries. The only three boundaries that have been struck in this inning so far for the Red Cobras. End of 14, 59 for 6. Veterans Cricket USA inaugural T20 tournament is brought to you by Nitya Capital, Ultimate Vineyards, Kadim Jewelers, and Stelton Sports. Apparel sponsor is Umtex. Prashant Patel continuing. And this is driven into the deep for a single. Prashant Patel figures so far 1 over. Make that 1 over in 1 ball, none for 6. And Kashif Rana generated a fair amount of energy and a lot of runs from that last over. 13 runs coming from over number 14. So let's see if he, Kashif Rana, can continue pushing on from where he was here. That's swept away, and it gets past short, fine leg, running away down the hill for 4. So the last 3 deliveries that have been faced by Kashif Rana have all been struck for 4. And it feels as though the tide has turned just a little bit. The required rate is down to 8.47. 6 wickets have been lost. But Kashif Rana is the man who's been there from the beginning. Opened the batting. Been standing at the other end for all the dismissals, one of which was a shambolic run out. But with 4 deliveries remaining here in over number 15, they need another 48. It feels as though he can continue generating this momentum and then seeing where you can get from here. Backward point is in position. That's Chintan Patel. He'll get a single. Now it goes up to 35 from 36 with 4 boundaries. And it appears as though he, Kashif Rana, is batting on a completely different pitch from his partners so far. Farhan Ahmed, 15 from 24. He's now back on strike. Big hit, but there's a man in the deep. Oh, didn't quite carry all the way down to Uday Patel at deep mid wicket. Thought for a split second that he might have had the leverage to get to that one, but it landed and bounced in front of him. So now 2 balls remaining here in over number 15. 7 runs have come from this over already. 13 came from over number 14. So some energy and some momentum being generated. And this one is a dot. Wanted to get a wide on that one, the batter, Kashif Rana. But umpire Rakesh Jain disagrees. Here's the last ball. Wanted to go big inside edge onto his boot. And just trickles to short mid wicket for a dot. So 7 coming from that over. They've made up a little bit of the distance here, the Texas Red Cobras, but still a long way to go. In the next 30 deliveries, they need 46 runs. The score is 66 for 6. That's not a good sign. 666. We'll be right back. Opening bowler back into the attack, Tapaish Baisha. 2 overs so far. None for 8 from his 2 overs. And he's now bowling to Farhan Hamid. The required rate is 9.2. The actual rate is 4.4, and that 4.4 represents a big acceleration from where they've been for much of this match. But all is not lost yet. And you get a couple of big overs in here. You have another 46 to get. Maybe you try to maneuver things to go into the last over needing around 15 or 16, which in modern cricket is doable. Worked away fine for 4. That's well played. Got it a little too straight that time, the bowler. And just stepping inside the line, elegantly working it away for 4, Farhan Ahmed. So good looking shot to start over number 15, make that over number 16. You're down to the last 29 balls and you need 42 runs. So again, you've lost 6 wickets, but this is doable, more than doable. And it's an interesting field that was the result of that delivery, because there was no short fine leg, there was no one in the deep at fine leg. So with that line or that type of field, the last thing that you can do is bowl a line that is too straight. And so now a man is going into position at deep fine leg. So certainly you'd want to cut off that potential scoring route. That is Waka Shahid, who's down at deep fine leg. Next delivery. Stroked square. They'll get 1. No, in fact, they'll get 2. Easy 2 in the end. And is it the case that you have a slight change in momentum here? Texas Red Cobras certainly have been going along at a decent rate in the last couple of overs. 5 came from over number 13, but 13 came from over number 14, and then 7 more over number 15, 6 from the first 2 balls here and over 16. Make that 7 from the first 3 as that stroke down the ground. 39 runs needed in the next 27 balls. If you're a Red Cobras fan, obviously you want those 2 numbers to continue sort of drawing together. And conversely, if you're the Black Caps, you want to string together a few more dot balls. Dot balls from here really tighten things up. Wanted to go big but was late on the shot. Thick inside edge takes the ball to square leg. That's all that they'll get. So where you are now, big picture, another 3 deliveries. Make that 2 deliveries remaining here in over number 16. And Kashif Rana, 36 from 39 with 4 fours. He's at the non-striker's end. Man on strike is Farhan Ahmed. Played down the ground again. Should just be a single. 9 from over number 16 with 1 to come. The last 5 overs have yielded 35 runs. So the scoring rate certainly picking up in the last few overs. Seven and over is what you need. And this is worked away down the leg side. Work for deep fine leg to do. Good work. Goes down and cuts this one off. Come back for a second and they'll get there. But that's good effort in the deep. Once again, I believe that's Uday Patel out there who does cut that off. So saves 2 runs for his side. 11 runs coming from that over. At the end of over number 16, the score is 77 for 6. Chintan Patel had a brilliant spell when he bowled earlier. 2 overs, 1 for 3, which is just insane. And he's now coming back on to bowl over number 17. Left arm around the wicket, bowling to Farhan Ahmed. Drops this down to short third, and they'll run a single. And that, excuse me, that gets Kashif Rana back on strike. Kashif Rana, 38 from 40 with 4 fours. 3 of those 4 fours were struck consecutive balls faced in overs number 14 and 15. And so look for him to see what he can do the rest of the way here. Looks like he's going to respect Chintan Patel. Chintan Patel is a very wily, cagey bowler, so not somebody who's easy to attack. Having said that, there's a fielder deep, long on. And there's a deep mid wicket. If he attacks, that would be the direction that he'd go in. Drags this one square, get a few runs here. It is in the gap and it goes for 4. So coming down the track, taking one step down, not quite cleanly striking this ball, but getting enough of it to get it square of the fielder, running across from deep backward square leg, and they'll get 4 runs. So 30 needed in the next 21 balls. It is absolutely doable. The question to be asked is, can you do it without having lost any more wickets? If you don't lose wickets, it's essentially a 50-50 game. If you lose wickets, I think it's New Jersey by a hair. Tries to go around again, and given this time, tried to repeat the shot, misses out on the cross-batted shot, wanted to go in that area again to backward square leg, and this time he's trapped in front. Oh, looking at the replay, umpire Rakesh Jain agreeing with Chintan Patel that this one would have crashed maybe into leg stump. And Kashif Rana, unfortunately for the Texas Red Cobras, is dismissed. 42 runs against his name, but he takes those 42 runs with him back to the pavilion. And it does mean that things have gotten that much harder. So now Anand Sundaram will be at the wicket to join, who is now the senior partner, Farhan Ahmed. Farhan Ahmed, 25 from 30 with 1 boundary. I said earlier, much earlier, and I may have been way off in this, that he would have put himself in the running for player of the match. But he absolutely can put himself in the running for player of the match if he can somehow shepherd a chase from here. 30 runs are still needed. 7 wickets are down. So essentially you're down to the bowlers and Farhan Ahmed. And then Sundaram, typically opening batter, but batting down the order in this instance. Favorite cricketer is Sachin Tendulkar. That was a stretch. Don't think anybody else would have thought about that. And when he is not playing cricket, enjoys his gardening and his travel. Looking for something different from him here today because he's now on strike, facing up to Chintan Patel, who, along with Sanjay Pandya, to me have been the 2 destroyers for the day with the ball. Here's the first delivery to him. Wanted to go big late on the shot, really. And only has this one go past the outside edge for a dot. 1 delivery remaining now in over number 17. Chintan Patel about to finish his 3rd over. And in fact, earlier I said he was 1 for 3. I actually meant he was 3 for 1. He's taken 3 wickets. Now make that 4 after the wicket that he's taken in this over. So yet another brilliant spell underway here for Chintan Patel. He has 1 left. That is a single in the outfield, but you don't worry about that very much because it does mean that in the next 18 balls, the Texas Red Cobras need to find a way to score 29 runs. Veterans USA, Veterans Cricket USA inaugural T20 tournament right here in the Moosa Cricket Stadium in Pearland, Texas. Sponsors are going to be Nitya Capital, Ultimate Vineyards, Kadim Jewelers, and Stelton Sports. Apparel sponsor is Omtex. And the Houston, make that the Texas Red Cobras, need to score 29 runs in the next 18 balls. And they're now facing up to Santosh Dani. Inside edge onto the pad. Oh, he had all three stumps to aim at, but somehow missed. You have to take chances from here. And boy, look at this replay. Came down the track, edged it onto his pads, but then a clean pickup there, and wasn't even bothering to slide the bat. He knew it would have been gone. But fortuitous again. From here, you sort of need to take chances to what educated chances. You don't want to be reckless, but you certainly want to try to force the envelope at this stage. You need 9.8 runs and over. You need 28 in the next 17 balls. Swipe and a miss, and a delivery that really could have been more productive than it for the Red Cobras than it ended up being. 28 needed in 16 balls. 84 for 7 is your score. 10.5 runs and over is what you're looking for from these two batters. And again, Farhan Ahmed has another swipe and a miss. He has had a very good day with the bat, or the ball rather. But 25 from 32 here with one boundary. 28 runs needed from the next 15. Make that 28 from 15. Short and work to mid wicket. Oh, misfield. Could have been potentially another dot, but I'll get a single. 2 balls remaining here in over number 18. 2 runs scored from the over so far. So you're almost at the stage now where you need 2 runs off of every ball. 11.57 is the rate required. You need 27 from 14. Good bowling by all the bowlers in this instance. It is Santosh Dani. Inside edge onto the pad again. Wanted to go for the big hit, but not really connecting. And you can count on one hand the number of times Texas Red Cobras have had the ball go out of the infield. So now with 13 balls remaining, 27 runs to go, you need another 2 runs from every ball the rest of the way. Here's the last ball of over 18. Once again, wanting the big hit, not taking or not able to make contact. 2 runs come from over number 18. And you need in the next 2 overs 27 runs. The Red Cobras, they're 85 for 7. Chintan Patel coming in to bowl the all-important 19th over. Doesn't matter which over Chintan Patel bowls in, he is absolutely the best bowler on offer for the day. I don't think that there's much question there. 3 overs, 4 for 7, if you can believe those figures. He's taken 4 wickets, only conceded 7 runs in his 3 overs. And his role as the bowler bowling the over 19 is essentially to keep the pressure on. By that I mean have it be where the batting side goes into the last over needing around 20 runs. So even if you concede around 7 runs here, which based on his bowling so far, he's conceded 7 runs for the 3 overs that he's bowled so far. So I don't know that he'd ever be loose enough to concede 7 runs in this over. But even if he does concede 7 runs, that does concede 7 runs. You're still going into the last over needing 20. Run out opportunity here. Oh, had that been a clean collection, that could potentially have been a run out. But once again, at the stage of the innings where you need quick runs and you have to take a couple of chances. 26 needed from the last 11. This is now Farhan Hamid, and Sundaram back on strike. Stroke past the bowler. This might be 4. It is going to be 4. That's well played. Stroked right down the ground, right past the outstretched right hand of Chintan Patel. Couldn't quite get to it. And a welcome boundary number 7 that has been struck in the innings so far. And look to see what the response is from Chintan Patel here. .22 needed from the last 10 balls. Left arm around the wicket. And then around with that boundary down the ground. Now moves to 6. 6 from 6 balls faced. Farhan Hamid 27 from 34. Wanted to go big. Evades the keeper. Let's see if there's a signal here from umpire Rakesh Jain. Yep, there is a signal. It's going to be bye. So 21 needed from 9 balls faced. Wanted to go big. There should be 2 more though. Have to come back for a second and they get there pretty easily. Throw is coming to the bowler's end. Okay, so I said that what Chintan Patel was going to try to do was to bowl an over where he conceded around 7 runs, and so he'd leave 20 for the last over. But as of right now, look at this. 19 runs are needed with still 2 balls to go. A couple of boundaries here would make things really interesting. Reverse sweep, appeal and gone. Oh, Farhan Ahmed, it does not work for him here, wanting to be enterprising. And you understand why he was looking to play that shot, because fine leg is, or make that deep, or short third is inside the circle. Tried the reverse sweep. Unfortunately misses out. And when you miss out on a ball that is on the stumps, essentially you're leaving your fate to the umpire. Don't know exactly how. We didn't say a replay on that, so I have no opinion on whether or not that would have been hitting the stumps. But it is more to the point that you're now down to the last 2 men. It is the captain himself, Kuldeep Patel, walking in with bat in hand. 7 balls remaining in this innings, 19 runs needed to get. Could Kuldeep Patel hit a 6 here and make things interesting? I don't think he'll be swinging for the fences, but boy. Anand Sundaram 7 from 7 with 1-4 against his name, and Kuldeep, who in past years certainly had the ability to hit big lower down the order. Haven't seen him bat for a decade or so, so not quite able to make that assessment. But I do know that without him scoring at least 18 runs in the coming, or at least he and his partner scoring 18 runs in the coming 7 balls, they will lose this match to the New Jersey Black Caps. Chintan Patel, who does play in the over 50, the Masters, True Masters, along with Kuldeep Patel, they're partners. In fact, they're teammates. Inside edge takes it down to deep square leg for a single. So 9 runs come from that over from Chintan Patel. That is his last. Excellent figures. 5 for 15, make that 5 for 16 from his 4 overs. Tremendous bowling by the left arm orthodox spinner. And so 1 over to go. And you need a small matter of 18 runs to win this match. And your bowler is going to be Santosh Dani. We'll be right back. Santosh Dani with the ball in hand, about to bowl from the Pearland end, the northern end of the ground. The Texas Red Cobras need to score 18 runs to win this match. 17 brings you level, 18 gets you a victory, and the captain himself, Kuldeep Patel, is on strike. Off the back foot, running away down the hill, that might get to the boundary. Is it going to get there? It's going to be a foot race. No, they'll get 2, but that's all they'll get. Coming back for third. That's good running. Oh, not quite so good running because he's run out at the non-strikers end, coming back for a third. I mean, at the strikers end, my apologies. So played off the back foot, Kuldeep Patel. Got it fine enough to go past the short third fielder. And they got 2 runs, came back for the third. Made the point earlier that at this stage of their respective careers, they don't quite run as well as they used to. And this time they were not able to complete that third and got run out going for the third. So that is the end of Anand Sundaram. And it means that 2 of the players who I personally have played with and against for several years, Kuldeep Patel is a long time foe, maybe too strong a word, but a long time opponent. And Zubair Hussain, who is now coming to the crease, is somebody who I played on the same team with for a number of years. So this pair, combining the experience from the Austin, make that the Central Texas Cricket League, that's in Austin, and the Houston Cricket League right here in Houston. They will be coming in to see whether or not they can in some way manufacture 16 runs and only 1 wicket in hand. So everything looking like a New Jersey Black Caps victory here, but I have seen Zubair Hussain pull victory out of the jaws of defeat a number of times. Let's see what he can do here. Swipe and a miss. A dot means that from here you need 4 fours to win this game. Pretty simple equation. Anything less than a 4 here, then you need 6s the rest of the way. Deep square leg in position, deep mid wicket in position, long on and long off. Here's the next delivery. Off the back foot, they'll get a single, and I'm sure that that's all they'll look for, which means going now into the last over, or into the last 3 deliveries of the over. 15 runs are needed, so 2 6s and a 4 would do it. 2 4s and a 6 would not. That is going to be down the ground. They'll get, ooh, fancy footwork down there. I don't think it did enough, or did it? I believe it went for 4. Let's see. Think they got just 2, or did they get 3? They got 2. So some fancy footwork down on the boundary means that this game is effectively over unless there's an extra involved. Swipe and a miss, and even with an extra now, New Jersey can rest easy because it appears that they will have done enough to hold off a bit of a mini charge at the back end of this innings by the Texas Red Cobras. The Red Cobras are 1 delivery away from being down and out in this first match of the inaugural T20 Veterans Tournament. Play to mid wicket. Everybody will sort of walk to their respective spots because 6 runs came from that over. And that is the end of the match. The Red Cobras tried but ended up with a score of exactly 100. The New Jersey Black Caps come out on top by the margin of 11 runs. So looking at the scorecard for the Texas Red Cobras, Swapnil Agarwal bowled by Sanjay Pandya for 4. Kashif Rana high scoring with 42 from 43, 5 boundaries. Jignesh Desai run out in shambolic fashion, 1 from 2. Rahil Khan LBW. Satyapal Chabra also LBW. Mustafa Himani bowled by Chintan Patel. Firoz Samani also LBW first ball. Farhan Hamid tried towards the back end, 29 from 36. And then Sundaram 7 from 7. Kuldeep Patel 6 from 5. And Zubair Hussain 1 from 2. So that is the end of the batting. Ended up exactly with 100 runs. And 10 of those 100 were due to extras. For the bowling, absolute dominant performance by Chintan Patel. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 5 for 16 from the left arm orthodox. Other left arm orthodox, Sanjay Pandya, 4 overs, 2 for 15. Other bowlers kept things tight, and that is all that you'll get. Absolutely brilliant performance from a score that I didn't think was going to be that challenging. And the singles the rest of the way would have gotten them home, but they lost too many wickets too quickly, and the Texas Red Cobras fall short of the mark. So that is the end of the match, the inaugural match here in the Veterans Cricket USA inaugural T20 tournament. Sees the Texas Red Cobras go down in a heap, and the New Jersey Black Caps win it by the margin of 11 runs. Stay tuned. We'll be coming on back on air for a 2:30 start. We'll toss at 2 o'clock, I would imagine. And join us when the second match features the Texas Red Cobras. And they'll be